do that. Okay, let me start it over. You guys can hear me. What I had said, which you missed out on, unfortunately, because of technical issues here. I had said, happy 4th. I've got my 4th of July jersey on to celebrate. After this session, I'm going to go for a short ride because we had a lot of rain today. And so I staggered my ride time. When I got up this morning, it was thundering and so forth. So I just moved it around. Yeah, thanks a lot for pointing that out. I was not looking at the chat. I really need to keep my eye on that. Happy 4th of July to all of you guys. Thanks for letting me know. So let's start with from the map here. They're going from Clou to Tignes. This is the second exploration into the mountains today. And what ends up happening, as I put on the thumbnail that I updated, is Quintana had to change his objective. He is like 16th place overall on GC, and I don't believe that he has the form to win. And so he decided that he was going to change and go after what was within reach. So in this stage, he's trying to get the King of the Mountains jersey. You can see the last climb, which has a one category profile, a category 1 profile, very steep. And I think they do that the category 1 is usually more than 11%. That means, it's really up there. But it's about 20-something kilometers long. And because it was that long, that's where a lot of the action that happened earlier was solidified. So guys could get away because you got to keep that power on the whole time. So what ended up happening was Ben O'Connor and a bunch of other guys got away. You can see early here, this is 98 kilometers in the race. Early on in the race, there was a lot of rain. And even though it was raining, the group split up because they're climbing. There's less danger of major crashing unless they're descending. And so most of the race was uphill, as you saw in the profile. So the group split up because if you can't climb, you're not going to be there. And that's what's going on here. So we had like almost, I believe, 40 riders away from the yellow jersey group. But the reason why you had that many is the yellow jersey is not going to chase people who are not within contention of getting the yellow off the leader. So with 98 kilometers to go, what Quintana is doing here is Wout Poels is currently in the King of the Mountain jersey. So Quintana latches onto him to try to get that jersey from him. Well, to get it from him, you got to go for the sprints, for those points. And you see the line up in the distance there. They're going for the sprint. Well, Wout Poels gets this sprint, which gives him some points. But he's not a pure climber like Quintana. So what ended up happening is, in a little bit, he gets dropped. Because after the sprint, before he can catch his breath, this Quintana and the other guys put the power down. There are 40 riders ahead of the mean pack, but they're all spread up in different groups. So at this point, there are 6 riders in the front group, including Nairo Quintana. And since the current King of the Mountains jersey is not here, Quintana's grabbing all those points. So that's his goal. So he spent all his energy to get in the Polkadot jersey. And then later in a ride, he gets dropped, later on. So right here at this point, the concern is yellow jersey is at risk because there is a rider from Australia called Ben O'Connor who is 8 minutes and 13 seconds behind yellow at the start of this stage. Well, look at the time up there. The yellow jersey in the 4th group on the road is almost 8.5 minutes behind. So Ben O'Connor at this point is the virtual leader of the Tour because of what, just the standing. As a result, the leader of the Tour is aware of it, but he doesn't have any teammates around him. There are not other climbers helping him, so he's kind of isolated at this moment in the race. So what ends up happening is this guy ends up dropping Quintana, who has gotten all the KOM points. They were part of that 6th group that went down to 3 through the last climb. So he dropped them, takes off. Higuita and Quintana drops off. So he's going for the stage win, and hopefully yellow jersey. But if you look at the time there to yellow, it's 6:55. So even though the UAE guys are not helping Pogacar's group, the yellow jersey group, with all the other riders from other teams, are riding hard enough to where these guys are not necessarily pulling away that dramatically. So what ends up happening is at 5.2 kilometers to go, that's Ben O'Connor right there. He gains more time, 7:56. So now he's getting to where it's closer to the possibility of him not only winning the stage, but getting in yellow on this stage. So, of course, Pogacar is aware of it. You know, the teams communicate with him by radio and so forth. But he's waiting to go because, like I said, the last climb was about 20 kilometers. So, 2021 is like 16 miles. So that's enough time. You don't want to go too early and blow everything you have. Right here, Ineos decide to get to the front because of Carapaz's position, because Ben O'Connor has passed Carapaz now because he's gained so much time. He was not that far off, 8 minutes, 13 seconds. So now they're saying, oh, we better go and work for our guy, Richard Carapaz. They're not helping the yellow jersey. They're doing it for their teammate. Well, the yellow jersey, knowing that he doesn't have any teammates, he latches onto them and just sits in because he's waiting for the right time. Cycling is about timing. And so he's waiting for the right time to make any moves. So Ineos is able to bring the time down from 7:56 to 7:25 by the time they hit the 2 kilometer mark. That's Ben O'Connor at the 2 kilometer mark at the head of the course. And so they brought it down enough to where now Carapaz supposedly is not in the danger, but they actually inadvertently helped the yellow because now his jersey is secure because they only got 2 kilometers left. So what he decides to do is basically break away from the guys who he was with. The Ineos guys had worked really hard, so they basically fell off the pace at this point. You know how they work hard, and when they're done working, the domestiques, they just pull off to ride into the finish. That's what's going on here. So Carapaz, Van Aert, and the other guys are the ones who are supposed to hang on to the yellow jersey, but they're not able to. I mean, he pulls away from them like he's in a race, a class by himself. This is with 1.4 kilometers to go. So in a kilometer and almost a kilometer and a half, it's probably about a mile, like less than a mile. He gains 30 seconds on these guys, Pogacar. So Ben O'Connor wins, which moves him up GC to second place because he gained about 5 minutes over the leader of the Tour. Okay, Ben O'Connor wins, it moves him up, and then Pogacar ends up gaining an additional 30 seconds on Carapaz, Van Aert, and all those guys. So it was like, man, that was a surprise. I thought they would be able to just hang in there, but they seem to be losing time. If this continues, he's going to run away with this Tour. You know, he gained time on his rivals within 1 mile of the finish. That's the benefit of being a strong climber in the mountains. And it appears that some of the guys are getting worse and Pogacar is getting better every stage. So if he doesn't have a bad day, they're going to have a hard time getting anything back. It's almost going to be his tour to lose. Let's put it that way. This is Carapaz, Van Aert, and the other guys coming in at 6:33, which is about 31 seconds behind the yellow jersey when he crossed the line. And he was like a couple of minutes behind the guy. The guy gained, I think, 5 minutes overall. So it's interesting to see what's going to happen. So Ben O'Connor is currently in second place. These are the stage results. Matteo Cattaneo was right behind there, 5 minutes. You can see after he crossed the line, the next rider was 5 minutes behind. Those were the guys that were in the middle. Cabrelli being at 5:34 in third place. If you guys remember, Cabrelli is the current Italian national champion. What that means is he's moving up in the green jersey standings because he's also a sprinter and he's been finishing consistently. I don't see any of the other guys. I don't see Sagan. I don't see any of the other guys. So that means he's gaining a lot of time points in the green jersey. So those are the kind of things we watch to look at the jersey, who's wearing the jerseys and so forth. The yellow jersey, of course, he was excited because after the day is going to be a rest day. The next day, a rest day before they resume when they go back into the valley. They're going to stay in this town. Quintana got his objective accomplished for the stage. So these guys, when I say there's a race within the race, these stage races, everybody has different things that they're chasing. So Quintana used his energy to get all those KOM points. Then he backed off because I don't think he could have gone for the stage win as well as Ben O'Connor was riding, and that's what makes sense to me. And of course, Polkadot, look at O'Connor now is 2 minutes, 1 second behind Ben. That's where Carapaz was the last stage. Now, the rest of the riders, the next guy is Rigoberto Urán at 5:18. And then Carapaz now has moved into 5th place, 5:33. Kelderman lost time today as well. He is in 7th place. Then you got Lutsenko, Martin. So I'm yet to see who's going to challenge this guy with the way he's riding. So hopefully, if he doesn't have a bad day, somebody else going to have to really try to take the tour back from Polkadot because he's running away with it. It's been interesting to see, like you all said, somebody just commented in here. It has not been boring. So, especially once they hit the mountains. And even before the mountains, look at how he rode the time trial. Polkadot surprised everybody. So his form is there. Whatever training he did, his form has come in at the right time. Some of the other riders look like they're faltering or whatever. So we'll see. 3 weeks is a long time. This is just the first week. So we'll see what happens as we go forward. I'm going to check some of your comments now. Let's see. Oh, Robert Tangler is here. Yeah, he said can't hear. Sorry about that, guys. Something was running in the background. I shut off the mic. I had a bunch of stuff I was doing this morning. So I already made a note. I'm getting something called a Stream Deck to use, which will automate some of these things to where I don't have to depend on software. But the July 4th this year, so I'm going to go out in about an hour. I'm waiting till the day cools off. It's almost like 1,700 here. At about 1,700, the temperature starts to go down. It's not that hot. We went out yesterday. It was nice. We got some rain. We filmed some clips in the rain I think you guys will like. And some of the members, I want to thank all the members. Some of the members have sent requests on the videos that we make to make the power number bigger. I didn't want to change the current layout that we have on the left, so I left that there, and I found a way to display power on our videos to the right, meaning directly across, because the power, the way we display it now, it's like it allows people to analyze what a heart rate is tracking with power. There's a graph and everything on there for those who are into that. And I don't want to change that. So I put power to the right, and it's bigger. It will be in the same scheme. I think you will like it. It's just in a circle, and you will be able to see power, especially people who use smaller things like the phone. So that's coming out on Tuesday. I'm actually working on the software to get it. So we're going to be displaying power on the side for those who requested it. I want to thank you. I've been looking into that, and I found a way to just add an additional field. So it will be kind of nice. So we'll have what we have now for those who are fine with it. And then we'll just have a circle for the power. I put it on the same line where power and heart rate is. I just went directly across the screen to the right edge and put a circle, and it just shows power for those who just want to see that. And it's bigger. So I think it will work great. So we'll go with that. Yeah. Leonard wants to know if this is live. Yes, it's live, Leonard. We're going to be holding these every day of the tour around 1600 Central. I will be sending out the notice. What I do is I do a snapshot after I watch the tour early in the morning because we get it on Dish. And then I come up with a storyline that shows what happens in the stage. So it's different every time. I only focus on the changes of what's going on and what caused them. It just seemed to make more sense. There's no point in showing you the GC here and you didn't know how Ben O'Connor got to second place. So what I do is I watch the whole thing and then I try to figure out, okay, these are the clips that would best show the action. So I wanted to show how Ben got in second place and how Quintana got the jersey. So whatever happens in the next stage, those are the clips I will show to show how The changes are occurring. How did this guy win the stage? How did this person get in that position on GC? It just seems to make logical sense. It's a highlight reel in a sense, but it focuses on the changes from day to day so that people who don't get it live can always go back and look at our stuff and be able to follow the tour that way. It was easier to do it that way. So that's what we're going with. And we will still have our live Q&A on Friday after we have these. I don't want to combine them. But even when we have them, if people have questions, I don't mind answering them. So yes, we're live. So let's see here. Patrick joined us, Patrick Parisien, from the other side of the pond. He said, this stage showed the importance of the correct clothing for warmth and staying dry, as well as keeping fuel, as O'Connor demonstrated. Yes. Yes, he had on long sleeves and everything because the weather changed. When you're in the mountains and it's raining and that dry air, you can get cold. And Pogacar was dressed properly too, because before he made his attack, he took off his jersey. He had a longer yellow jersey on. He took it off and gave it to the car. That's why you don't see him wearing it at the end. He took it off late in the stage, but O'Connor kept his stuff off. And so, yeah, this is, you guys in France, your Independence Day is the 17th, I believe, Bastille. Yeah, so July is a month of independence for the U.S. and France. Yeah, let's see here. So we have some problems with the audio, but we got that sorted. Thanks to you guys letting me know, because the stream showed it was going, but I went ahead and just fixed that issue that we're having. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and end. And what we will do is I still want to do the 5:30 Central premiere that we always have, because we have clips this week. We did some rides. And then we'll still do our Friday at the same 1700. So we'll do this at 1600 to keep it separate. I did not want to combine our Q&A with these clips. So I'm glad you all were able to join. And take care. Be safe out there. There's more to come. Bastille Day is the 14th. I thought it was the 7th. Oh, no, that's not. Okay, the 14th. Thanks for correcting me. Yeah. Bastille Day, yeah. On the 14th. So that's cool. So they will probably celebrate it during the tour. They usually do that during the stage that falls on that date. And that would be cool to see. We'll incorporate that in there. Yeah. So thanks, guys. You take care. Robert, Chris Mad, Chance Beck, John Hill, all of you. We appreciate you. Michael Mandarino. And, of course, Patrick joining us. It's late in France. I think it's almost 11 o'clock. But it is Sunday night. You know, who goes to bed early on Sunday night? So you guys take care, and there's more to come.